Pretty recently, FPS has become an even bigger part of Fortnite. In this video, I will be covering different graphics setting optimizations, simple tweaks to get more FPS, as well as some useful in-game settings that you guys are not yet using. So with all that being said, the first thing we are going to be going over is your video settings. These are located on the first page in your settings. Now, starting at the top, you want your game to always be on full screen, not windowed full screen or windowed mode. Windowed full screen gives you more input delay and reduces FPS. Now, for your FPS, you want to cap it at your monitor's refresh rate. If you have a 60Hz monitor, however, you want to cap it at 120 FPS, not 60, as this will make your game look way smoother. Then for your brightness, you just want to put it at 100%. Last season, people were putting it at 150% because of the low in-game brightness, but for this season, 100% is perfectly fine. The next settings we're going to be looking at are under User Interface Contrast and Colorblind modes. These are 100% your preference and they do not make an FPS difference, so whichever you like the best is what you should be using. Then moving on to the graphics quality category, it depends on each person. For 99% of you guys, putting your quality preset on low and then moving your 3D resolution up to whatever your computer can handle will be the best option. If you are a streamer / YouTuber, however, you might want to consider changing these based on your own preference. Now moving on to the advanced graphics settings, you want to turn VSync off, as having this on will give you more input delay. Then turn motion blur off so you can see more of what's happening around you. Then to finish up, show FPS doesn't affect anything, so it's up to you if you want it on or not. And for which DirectX version you want to be using is based on your personal PC, so test them both out. That is it for the first page, since everything past this only applies to NVIDIA users. The next thing we are going to be optimizing is the game settings page with the gear icon. Again, starting at the top, your language and region should be set to what you want. Now going down to the movement category, toggle sprint is up to you if you want it on or not. Right below it, however, sprint by default should always be on, since it allows you to bind your shift key / left stick to an action rather than it being on sprint. Then the setting sprint cancels reloading is up to you if you want it on or not, although I have it off. Moving on, and auto open doors should be on. This is because whenever you edit a door instead of something else, the door automatically opens so you don't lose any of your momentum. Moving on to the combat section is pretty much all your own preference, although having auto sort consumables to the right will automatically make heals go to the far right of your inventory, so that is pretty useful. Then for the building section is again all preferences, except turbo building should always be on. Now finally getting on to the good stuff, we have the extra game options settings. To start things off, you want invert view off unless you have been already using it. Then turbo delete in creative is pretty nice, so set that to on. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, then turn NVIDIA highlights on. After this, peripheral lighting is auto set for your device, so just leave it how it is. For the last setting, which is tap to interact / search, turn that off so that you do not have to hold down the button while searching a chest. Then for having replays enabled or not, if you have at least a GTX 1060, you should have them on, although if you have anything below that, turn them off for an extra FPS boost. That wraps up the first two pages, so we are almost done. For the last thing, scroll over to the third page and it should say in the top left, Game UI. Once you are on this page, you want to scroll down until you see Net Debug Stats. Turn this on so you can see what your ping is, or off if you do not want to see it. The only other thing that you might want to mess with is turning Latency Debug Stats on. This is only for NVIDIA graphics card users, so if you do not have one, this will not apply to you. Now, after you have turned this on, go back to the first page and turn on Latency Markers. Now if you go into a game, your input delay should be shown up on screen. Look at the top number, it says total, and that will be your total amount of input delay. Overall, those were the best possible settings you can have on Fortnite. If you did enjoy the video or learned something new, then please drop a like, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will be catching you guys in the next video. Peace out.